I'm starting this one with questions. First big, super major question. How many of you thought couch surfing was running to your living room and jumping on your own or your parents' couch and surfing with the TV playing in the background with some waves crashing? Yeah, while I know you probably didn't think that, that's probably an image that comes to your mind. Another question is, how many countries are there in the world? Some of you do know that, and you'll be amazed on how many you can get to through couch surfing. So, today's specific episode is focused on couch surfing and how you can learn cities and the world through this practice. So, I have a couch surfing, I would call him expert, Nenad, or Ned, for some of us who, may struggle with other tongues, right? And he is going to give us the ins and out about his story with couch surfing, how you can get involved in couch surfing, and how you can benefit your mental, spiritual, and geographic world by trying couch surfing. It's an amazing, amazing conversation. So, without further ado, let's go. So today on Voices, the focus is on traveling, learning new cities, and how you do it. So today joining me is a friend of mine, Ned. He's going to explain couch surfing. I think it's a really, really cool concept. The first time I ever heard about it was when I met him and some friends. So no person can introduce themselves better than themselves. So thank you for joining me today, sir.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Nenad, but since it's difficult to pronounce for most of the world, I decided to call myself Ned. Actually, that's what they have decided in China while I was living there. So, what can I say about myself? Well, I'm from Serbia, and I've been curious all my life. That kind of motivated me to travel and to explore the world, and it's what I've always wanted to do. I kind of knew that by heart ever since I was a kid because I was curious. So I could say that my first independent travel was when I was 8. I basically escaped from my parents and I walked to another city for 10 kilometers because I was curious. I wanted to know what's there. So naturally, like later on, when I was older, I started traveling and exploring the world on my own. And couch surfing was the thing that helped me a lot in my quest for getting to know the world and its cultures and its people and stuff. So I can say that I've been actively traveling the world for the last 12 years or maybe 13 years.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Cool. So what exactly is couch surfing?
Couch surfing is a hospitality exchange platform which works on global level. It connects the people from all over the world, and it makes us realize how the world actually small is.
Yeah.
I believed I used to live in a big world, but then suddenly the world became smaller by getting to know this platform and getting connected to all the people I met all over the world.
So is it literally sleeping on someone's couch, or kind of what is it?
Well, it depends. It depends on a person. I mean, there are so many members. I at this moment I don't know exact number, but there are a couple of million members around the world.
Wow.
Million, I think, something like that. So it depends on a person. People share what they have. So some of them share couches, some of them share beds, some of them share the whole houses, some of them share the floor. It just depends. So everything is a question of flexibility and mutual agreement, what you want to sleep on. But it's not only about sleeping; it's basically cultural exchange. So it helps you to really get to know the world through the eyes of the people, different people who live all over the world. And that's what was my main point of traveling, to get to know the world, the real world, not the not just the places. I mean, I wanted to know like what's behind these places, who live in those places, and what kind of people live there. Like, what do they do in their lives? Where do they drink coffee? What do they do in their free time? Like, how do they spend their time? And yeah, being part of someone's life for a day, 2 days, or a week or something makes everything completely different. And the whole concept of traveling, I believe.
Okay. And so like you mentioned that you started young, but like how did you start? Because there was like obviously an age where you're like, okay, I'm going to couch surf. So like how did you actually get started doing it?
Before I discovered couch surfing, which was in January 2008, I wanted to travel, so I wanted to do it without any agency. Actually, I used the service of one agency once, and then I decided, okay, I've never repeat it again. So then in 2007, a year before couchsurfing, I did some trips on my own. Like I sat in my car and I started driving to Italy. But like what actually motivated me at that time was a concert of Italian composer Ennio Morricone. So in order to get to Italy at that time, it was easier. Well, at that time we still needed visa for European Union, so I got visa for Greece. And then I drove all over Greece by myself. I think it was like 14 hours of driving until I reached the ferry, which brought me to Italy. And then I made a big circle, going all over Italian coast, attending the concerts, and making a circle back home, which took about, I think, 3,000 kilometers.
Wow.
And I forgot, I think it was like 2 weeks or something like that.
That's amazing. So, go ahead.
Yeah, and then later on, like few months after this event, I discovered couchsurfing, and then I realized, wow, that's what I really want to do. Like, I want to meet the world through its people, and then like I wanted to meet my neighbors and their neighbors and everyone else, and I've hosted my first guest, which was from Turkey. That was an amazing guy. I mean, it is amazing guy.
Right.
I mean, like, so we kept in touch, not only with him, but we kept in touch with a lot of my guests. But with him, I've been meeting later on, like a couple of times. Like we met in Turkey, we met in Brussels, in Belgium, where he used to live. We met again in Serbia as he moved to Serbia several years after our first encounter and stuff. And we spent, basically when I hosted him for the first time, we spent a great time. And then I was really happy to receive and to welcome a lot of people from all over the world to my country and to my city and to my house.
That's it. So does it cost people money? Like, do you exchange money as well?
No, it's completely free. Well, the difference was that in the early years of couchsurfing, I think from 2008 when I joined until 2013, I guess, it was completely free. Now later on, like it got sort of sold to a company or something, and they started charging for members to be verified, but it's optional. You don't have to pay.
Okay.
Basically, you can pay if you want some sort of premium access, and premium access is like it allows you to send as many messages as you want. But the other way to get a premium access is to receive a person in your house. So with each person you receive, you get like 3 months of free membership. And if you receive 4 people, you can have a year of free membership. So it just depends. Basically, it's free. But if you are not premium member, you are just limited to send like 7 or 10 messages a week, which at times it's not enough, I guess. But it all depends on how well you plan your trips, I guess.
Right.
No, I mean, like some people plan it in the last minute. Like when I travel, I usually send messages like last minute because I'm traveling and I'm all the time on the road. So it depends on the concept of the people. I mean, we are all different and we all have a different way of traveling. Like how do we get organized? Like if we organize like a month in advance or something, or a day in advance, it's all up to a person and how flexible the other person is.
So what platform do you use? Because you say you send messages, so is it emails, text?
No, you send messages through Couchsurfing. Okay. So Couchsurfing has a lot of options. So you can basically the platform Couchsurfing allows you to search members in all the cities all over the world. And I think every country in the world, except North Korea, has members. So no matter where you go, you can always find members who are happy to receive you in your house. But it's not only limited on staying in someone's house. You can just travel the way you want and stay in hostels or hotels and just meet people for the sake of meeting them.
Oh, okay.
It just depends, how. What do you want to use it for?
So it's a website?
Yeah, it's a website.
Okay.
It started being application, I don't know, a few years ago or something.
Well, I mean, obviously to catch up with the world, right?
Yes.
So as far as like foreign languages, because if you have the opportunity to travel all over the world, like what level of fluency do you think is good or necessary to do couch surfing, I guess, in the best way possible?
Well, I would say it depends on a country. And the other thing I would say is that most of the members of couchsurfing that I've encountered for these last 12 years can speak English. Well, obviously, Latin America is an exception. Asia and Europe, over there, I've been always finding people who speak English. And although here in Latin America, the percentage is a little bit lower, I say. So I realized I had to learn Spanish to make my life easier. So it just depends on a country. I mean, when I used to live in China, I had to learn some basic Chinese because it could help me with my daily life.
Right.
But besides that, I could always find members in China who can speak English, and those members were always receiving me, and then I didn't have any problems. For other countries, I was learning some basics. So when I travel in the Middle East, in Iran, I had to learn, for example, 10 basic sentences to explain where I'm traveling. When I was in Vietnam, I also had to learn some basic phrases. Well, I didn't have to learn, but it made my travel much easier. I mean, it made people more comfortable and understanding. Where I'm going, what I'm doing.
Right.
Because most of the people who pick you up when you're hitchhiking. By the way, I travel most of my time by hitchhiking because I like it. I find it as another way to connect with people. And yes, I would say it just depends on a country. So I did learn several languages because I used to live in different countries for some period of time. And I've lived in Indonesia a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And besides, Indonesian language was very easy to learn. It was very simple, almost without grammar, and people were speaking all the time. With Chinese was a bit more difficult. Maybe because of the structure of the language, but not only because of that, because Chinese people tend to be more shy and reserved.
Right.
I would say, and but still, with hitchhiking, in all those countries, I got to learn languages much easier. I mean, because of constant communication with people.
Yeah.
So whenever you get into someone's car, you always receive the same questions, and naturally you have to remember these questions.
Right. Well, and so as far as the traveling, so you hitchhike, but say coming from Europe to Latin America, did you have to get a plane, or how would you, I guess, be able to get yourself from Europe to sort of the Americas?
Well, when I came here, which was almost 2 years and 4, 5, 6 months ago, something like that. I took a plane, although it's theoretically possible. Well, not theoretically. I know people who have done it. It's possible to hitchhike a boat, which are usually sailboats. Although I just wanted to save my time, I guess. But I've started from Dominican Republic, so I took a cheap plane to Dominican Republic, and from there I started my hitchhiking to Haiti. And from Haiti, I found a boat to hitchhike to Jamaica.
Wow.
So I did hitchhike a boat. It was the first time I've done something like that. And it was amazing. It was a great experience. And I'm still in touch with the captain. It was really cool.
Cool.
And from Jamaica, I took another plane to United States. And from there, from New York, I've been hitchhiking, most of the time. I've been traveling by land Since end of December 2017, I haven't taken any single plane until now.
Okay.
So I've came by hitchhiking mostly from New York to California. It took me like 3 months. And then I continued hitchhiking to Mexico, to Baja California, to the peninsula that goes all the way down south to Los Cabos. And then from Los Cabos, I've hitched another boat that brought me to Sinaloa, to Mazatlan.
Wow.
And this boat took like 3 days.
Wow.
And it was great. Then I continued most of my journey by hitchhiking, with the exception of 4 months in Mexico, where I bought a motorbike. And then I explored Mexico, and it's like maybe 8,000 kilometers by riding a motorbike until it broke down. So I just left it at mechanic's place like a year and a half ago. So it's still there actually. I'm planning eventually to go back and fix it and continue traveling, I guess. But for now, I don't know. But yeah, after that, like I just continued hitchhiking through Central America, crossing Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. And from Panama, I took small local boats to reach Colombia, because the road by land doesn't exist.
Yeah, I saw that on.
And that's how I ended up in Colombia for 3 months. Then I continued to Ecuador. And then I realized it's time to find a job, because I didn't have a job for 3 years. I've been just traveling last 3 years before this job. So I found a job, and since August 2019, last year, I've been living and working here.
Right. And so, have you had any issues where you have to deal with, as far as passports and stuff? Because I know some countries require visas and some don't. So
well, for us, it's kind of difficult comparing to some other countries, because Serbian passport is not as strong as maybe American passport, or even Colombian passport is stronger, I think, than Serbian passport. So I took, we have visa requirements from Canada until Costa Rica, in all these from North to Central America. But the advantage is, if you have a visa for United States or Canada, you don't have to get visas for all these countries.
Okay, that makes sense.
All these other countries.
That makes sense.
And then that was a thing that made it much easier for me. Now for South America, we are required to have visa for Venezuela, Paraguay, and Guyana. And thanks to my Colombian ID, I managed to enter Venezuela. Although with some problems, but still I managed. I mean, like it was kind of alright. When I went to Venezuela for holidays. Like we had like a month. We had holidays for a month, so I just used it to get to know these countries as well.
Going to all of those places and doing couch surfing, I think it's a very interesting thing. Being an American, I don't know how it is specifically in the mentality of Europe, but people talk a lot about safety. So, in your opinion, is couch surfing safe?
Well, safety is a relative term. So I mean, it is and it isn't. And I would say, in my case, it is. I mean, I've been using it for 12 years. I've hosted around 350 people in 4 countries, actually 5 countries I've lived in, and I've stayed with about 1,000 people. And besides that, I met probably around 800, 900 people through the platform. So I would say it is safe, but it depends how you use it. It's like reflection of everything, what the world is. It just depends how you live. I mean, like if you pay attention, like if you take care of yourself and use common sense, not only with couch surfing but with your life, and like with your, everything can be safe. So in terms of couch surfing, the most important thing is to check profile, because every person has a profile with the personal information. And what is the most important? References. References are left by other members who have stayed with them before, or who have been hosting these people before. And based on what they've been writing about. I mean, you can make your own judgments.
Right.
What kind of person you're going to meet is, and I think it's a very nice way to that we are able to trust each other, because lately with all this development of technology and isolation of people, I would say especially in developed countries like United States, Canada, or most of the countries in Western Europe, we are getting far from each other.
Oh, okay.
So what I've noticed, for example, in Latin America, that people keep much closer together. They're doing things together. Like parks are full of people. Like people are doing things together. Meanwhile, in other places, they're more into their devices, their phones, their computers, their virtual way of socializing and stuff. And a lot of people are just into a different lifestyle. That makes them like a little bit limited, I guess, in terms of trusting people.
Right.
So I believe that couchsurfing is something that brings us back to our natural instinct and not natural. I don't know how to say habits.
That's cool.
That it's something very human and and very nice, which is like to share something, to share time together, to share our habits, to try to understand cultural differences, to try to understand different lifestyles, to be I don't know, more open and understanding towards the differences, to try to focus on similarities instead of differences.
Yeah.
Actually, which is something that we really need. What I noticed by traveling after so many years is that in the whole world we are much more similar that we think than what we think, because we are trying to find differences which will limit us. We try to create borders between people, and in general, we are all born with the same feelings. It just depends how we develop them. It depends on society. It depends on a lifestyle. It depends of education. It depends of family and stuff. And I believe couchsurfing functions as one big family, which can bring us together and make us enjoy time that we share with each other.
Yeah, and so I mean, I would be remiss not to ask you this. So, how many countries, if you know the number, how many countries have you been to? And sort of a two-part to it, what are some of your favorite things to do in some of those places you've been?
Well, within these 12 years, I would count it as 12 years of traveling. I've been to 82 countries so far.
Wow.
So I have a lot of countries that are expecting me. But the thing is, I take my time in certain countries, and I tend to come back to certain countries, because for me a country is not. Number of countries is not just a number, just to count countries. I like to explore a lot of places within these countries. For example, I've stayed in Mexico just because I was curious to get to know a lot of places. So I've been to 191 places that I counted.
Wow.
Here in Colombia, I've been to 145 places.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I just take my time, because I'm still very curious. The more I travel, the more curious I'm getting. So the more I travel, the slow my travels are getting slower. Because.
Are you slowing down?
I'm quite fast with my traveling, but in terms of one certain country, I'm being slow, I guess.
Okay.
So because I am curious to get to know some small towns, to get to know some villages, to meet people in different parts of the country, to see how they live. And my main point of traveling is just to connect with people, to see how their lifestyle is, and to share something with them, and to learn something with them, and basically to see if we can inspire each other in any way, so we can all improve something by learning from each other. I think there is always something to learn from people, and I guess that might be an answer to my question, why do I travel?
Yeah, Well, I mean,
guess.
and then that was going to be a question, but like another question is specifically like the way you travel. You're getting more probably bang for your just experience than the standard tourist. You think?
Yes, I mean, like as I said, like I would rather count experience as count a country or count a city or something, like, because all these experiences with different people are I don't know, something new. It's something special for me. I mean, connecting with with a new person, like every time it makes something nice. I mean, like it makes life special, I guess, to see how easy it is to connect with a random person.
Yes.
Like in a times in which we don't trust to most of people. Especially, I would say, you know, when I travel in the United States, I could feel this mistrust that people are not really very open to each other, like especially to new people or something.
Not really.
Yeah. Although I really liked hitchhiking in the United States, it was something.
I bet it's different.
Huh?
I bet it's different than like other places.
Yes. You meet a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You meet like really different people, like with different point of view, different background, opinions and stuff, and like and it was interesting. Otherwise, you would probably not meet like all these people, but like like just being in that place, like suddenly, like I don't know, they don't expect you don't expect them, and then like you somehow connect, you get connected like through the trip that they're like you're sharing with them. So this is the thing that I really like when I hitchhike, and this is why I hitchhike, because I mean you get connected to a lot of random people, and like with different opinions and stuff, and it's fun, it's interesting.
That's awesome. So in this specific segment, we're going to take a pause and we're going to switch to Spanish, because we have a couple of questions in Spanish, because we have like listeners, and then I'll return back to English. So I'll take a pause and then we will start again.
Hola, Ned.
Hola.
Bueno, mi nombre es Natalia y tengo unas últimas preguntas para ti.
Sí, está bien, con gusto.
Ok. La primera es, ¿cuáles son las razones del por qué empezaste con Couchsurfing?
Pues las razones son que primero yo siempre tenía curiosidad para conocer la gente con eso estaba muy interesado para conocer las personas, la gente que vive su vida en una manera diferente, y para conectarme con ellos y para compartir algo con ellos, para conocer algo de las culturas distintas, para tratar de entender unas formas de vida diferentes, para aprender algo de las ciudades, de los pueblos, de las familias, de las formas de la vida, de cómo lo vive, para tratar de compartir algo que son de pronto unas historias personales, o la comida, o unos viajes. Pues muchas veces yo hice los viajes con las personas con quienes estoy hospedando. Y en estas maneras compartimos algo, o ellos me muestran las cosas que normalmente yo no sabía cómo que existe o cómo son, y sí, creo que sí,
Claro.
algo de...
Y compartir
Algo de
también tu cultura a ellos.
Sí, claro, sí, es que especialmente porque la gente no sabe mucho sobre mi país es todavía muy desconocido. Pues muchas personas saben sobre Yugoslavia, pero después de la separación de Yugoslavia no sabe muchas cosas que se pasaron después de 95.
Sí, total.
Es que mi país se cambió nombre 4 veces desde mi nacimiento, y la gente está muy confundido con esas cosas, y especialmente con esta parte del mundo, porque después de la separación no estuvieron muchas noticias sobre todas los países. De hecho, Yugoslavia continuó a existir en otra forma hasta 2003, y después todo está como más confundido con los nuevos países y todo. Y sí, me gusta compartir algo de mi cultura cuando puedo, para ir también aprender algo con otras culturas.
Claro.
Y es que Couchsurfing es una plataforma de intercambio de las culturas. Y es algo muy bueno para conectarse con la gente.
Totalmente.
Cuando uno te recibe en la casa, es que, no sé, algo como un sentido como que estás con la familia afuera de tu familia.
O sea, te sientes cómodo.
Sí, claro.
Total. Bueno, entonces sí lo recomiendas a otras personas.
Sí, absolutamente. Es que Couchsurfing es una plataforma de bastantes personas distintas. Todos tienen su distinta forma de la vida. Algunas son más reservadas, algunas son más abiertas, algunas son más ricas, algunas menos o algo. Pero la idea es compartir lo que tienes. No necesito compartir algo como comida o algo, por a menos puedes compartir historia y intercambio de cultura. Lo que tiene que compartir es que es lo que es importante. Es que no solo en las cosas, pero en el pensamiento y otras formas de compartir.
Claro. Bueno, entonces, ¿tú crees que Couchsurfing es para personas con específica personalidad o crees que todos debemos hacerlo?
No, es que yo no creo que hay límite en este caso. Es que pues todos humanos, yo pienso, es que les gusta compartir algo o mostrar al menos una parte pequeña de sus propias culturas o pues de sus propias vidas o algo poco para tener la gente, porque todos tenemos amigos. Entonces, ¿cómo empezamos a tener amigos? A veces por el lugar donde trabajamos, a veces con los vecinos, pero también es bueno para conocer personas que viven más lejos y cuáles culturas son un poquito más distintas, aunque no tan distintas como todos piensan. Y depende cómo uno puede abrirse y cómo quiere dejar personas nuevas en su vida, porque todos tenemos amigos, ¿no?
Sí, lo digo porque dicen que esto es para gente arriesgada, que confía en las casas y en las personas a las que van a llegar.
Pero si tú confías a tu vecino, o si tú confías en tu amigo que conoces 2 años, ¿por qué no puedes confiar a alguien que también tiene recomendaciones de otras personas? Si puedes leer lo que 100 personas escribieron sobre una persona, yo creo que está suficiente para tener confianza. O no solo para eso, pero es que todos se sentimos cómodos con una persona, tal vez después de uno tiempo, ¿no? Es que solo así funciona tal vez más rápido, que para algunas personas no es natural, pero para otras es que, ¿por qué no? Es que si tú conoces a alguien en la calle y compartes algo y le conoces de nuevo y de nuevo, es que yo creo que la forma que hospedar gente en tu casa es algo también interesante y algo bueno para compartir con unos amigos que no son, tal vez no se va a quedar mucho tiempo, pero es que yo creo que existen muchas razones para que tener confianza.
Sí, hay que ser abierto totalmente.
Sí.
Ok, entonces ahora miremoslo por el otro lado. Ya estábamos hablando de ser viajante, pero ahora miremoslo como acogedor de viajantes. O sea, si yo, por ejemplo, si yo recibo a un viajante en mi casa, ¿qué se siente? ¿Cómo hace uno para confiar en la persona que va a llegar?
Pues, no sé, primero es que por la confianza, como lo que di es, como puedes checar por las recomendaciones que otras personas escribieron. Otra cosa es que leer lo que ellos escribieron para ver si tiene algo similar, algunas cosas similares, porque también los viajantes son a veces cerrados, a veces más abiertos, a veces quiere hacer cosas contigo, a veces quiere hacer cosas por su propia cuenta. Y todo depende cómo tú sientes, como que tú quieres hacer con ellos. Por ejemplo, no sé, para compartir tiempo. Para mí, cuando yo recibo a la gente, a mí me gusta mucho que compartimos algo o que me gusta mostrarle las ciudades, los alrededores o caminatas o no sé, cosas así. O muchas veces cocinamos juntos, por ejemplo. Ellos comparten algo de algo de comida de su propia...
Su gastronomía.
Su gastronomía. Yo no sabía cocinar mucho, pero aprendí un poco en mis últimos viajes para que al menos puedo compartir algo de mi gastronomía. Y sí, es que pues depende cómo te sientes. Para que no, por ejemplo, yo a veces recibo muchas solicitudes de viajantes, pero no recibo todos. Primero puedes ver su perfil, su descripción, sus fotos. Y si sientes una manera de conexión con esa persona que tiene algo, que tiene más cosas para compartir, que te sientes como alguien, puedes poner la preferencia.
Súper. O
Es
sea,
que también hay calificaciones de las personas. Puedes ver si ellos ya hospedaron a alguien antes o solo lo usa para viajar, porque algunas solo lo usa para viajar o para...
También recibir.
También, sí. Entonces puedes checar muchas cosas y depende de su perfil, puedes decir si quieres recibir a esa persona o no. Como puedes tener la idea si te vas a sentir cómodo con la persona.
Súper, o sea, en conclusión es totalmente segura.
Sí, claro.
La comunidad.
Sí. Aunque a veces debes que tener precaución para las personas que son nuevas, que no tienen ninguna recomendación. Preferible tal vez no aceptar, pero a veces puedes ver si ellos tienen enlace para otras páginas, para Facebook o algo, que puedes ver a menos un poquito más de sus vidas. Y en lo que ves de sus formas de la vida, puedes decidir algo como te sientes.
Muchas gracias, Ned.
Por nada, un placer.
So we had obviously the Spanish segment, which I think was very important because it shows the intercambio or the exchange of languages, culture, etc. And I think it's important, especially for the people in Colombia, to understand your ability to communicate with them and your desire to communicate with them. So I have 2 more questions, and then we're going to wrap up because you've done absolutely fabulous. So two quick questions. So how much longer do you think you will want to do or to continue to couch surf?
Well, I guess I would like to continue until I'm alive, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see any limits. Why would I stop? I mean, even if I would change my lifestyle or something, I would still continue meeting people. So for me, it's something natural. We are all learning all our lives. We are all, able to enjoy different things as long as we live, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you are able to see a change, it's not important the age or a place, I guess. We can all see a change in the world even from the same place.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, as long as we focus on, something.
Well, I think age is a human thing. I think you're oldest, you want to be, and then there are false requirements or stigmas that they give people for ages. But another question is because, there are often questions about people's sort of place in life as far as legacy. Do you have like a desire to have a family or anything like that from yourself, or is couch surfing something that you just, or maybe can you do that with couch surfing?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I mean, like it all depends. I'm open to everything that comes. So for now I'm pretty much enjoying the way of life I'm living, but I guess I'm open to some sort of family life, although I wouldn't say if I would have family that it would be like traditional lifestyle.
Right.
Or something. If I find a wife who is going to travel with me or something, then in a case of children, I don't know. I mean, it makes me a little bit scared, to be honest. But I don't know if there would be a way to do like some kind of self-education or something like that.
Yeah.
And like that it can keep me traveling or something, why not? Or I don't know, it all depends. It all depends as long as if I'm able to find like a person who is flexible enough for my lifestyle, although that can be difficult. I mean, based on my previous relationships and stuff.
Oh, I can understand. I totally can understand that. So, the podcast is named Voices because my goal is to highlight the voices of people that I meet in life and that intrigue me. And I think everyone has something to say, and it's a part of their legacy and their story. So, I like to have the final word to be from the voice of the contributor, because I think what they have to say as an ending note is important. So your final word can be about what we've been talking about with couch surfing, or it can be about anything that's on your heart. But with all of that, I'm going to say specifically thank you for your time, the information, and I can't wait to hear more stuff. So I'll leave the final word to you.
Well, thank you very much, Luis. I don't know how can I make a conclusion. I guess well, pretty much all that I've said. Like I guess would have well, I don't know. Well, I would just say that couch surfing, like talking about couch surfing, is just like for me at least the point that we all should get like more should try to get more connected to each other and to try to understand each other better. And I think traveling helps one person to understand the world better and to be kinder to each other.